Joining us for more on this is G. Sundararajan, climate activist and environmentalist, also A. Saravanan, DMK spokesperson. Thank you, gentlemen, for joining us on this discussion. Mr. Sundararajan, to you first, there are areas in Chennai which are still waterlogged. What, in your view, has led to this dramatic rise in water levels? Like climate change causing extreme weather events is one thing, but the disconnect between development and the natural contours of the city, is that also to blame?
No, that is the primary reason that I would say that. Even the video that you played right now,
yes,
a resident saying that we have to pay a price for the urbanization of our the urbanization spree. So I think Chennai lost all its natural drainage systems in the last about so many decades that we have expanded like anything. That is one primary reason. But I would not, I would say that we should not hide behind climate change as far as the drainage systems are concerned. We all know that there is going to be extreme rainfall events since 2015, and
yes,
all of our stormwater drains are supposed to be recalibrated or redesigned, which will carry about 10 centimeters of rainfall in a couple of hours time, or 15 centimeters of rain in 3-4 hours time. That is how we should have recalibrated our stormwater drains.
yes,
But unfortunately, our city infrastructure did not get that. Though the government says, the previous government says that they have spent about 6,770 crores for flood mitigation measures in Chennai. We
yes,
don't see even a small thing spent on the ground. Otherwise, many of the new areas are now getting inundated. Some of these areas were not inundated during the 2015 floods, primarily because they went and tinkered with the stormwater drains, which were incomplete, or they were not designed properly, or they were not constructed properly. The corporation engineers had never gone there, visited it, and saw, overseeing that, so that
right,
the Chennai the stormwater drains will be able to carry the extreme rainfall events. I think in both fronts we failed as a city.
yes,
The megapolis or the metropolis concept that we say today is completely a lag of building city infrastructure in tune with the latest climate change trends or the extreme rainfall events. I think
yes,
Chennai should rebuild itself without expanding, without getting into new forays, without getting into new areas. At least the present Chennai city should become a climate resilient city or a climate proof city in the coming years. This is what citizens of Chennai
right,
wish.
Right, Mr. Sundararajan, we'll talk about solutions in just a bit. Mr. Saravanan, the court has asked, what have you been doing since 2015? Now, DMK has blamed the previous AIA-DMK government, but people are suffering. What's the plan of the government?
See, definitely the government is on the road, on the ground. The Chief Minister himself is there almost spending 7 to 8 hours every day since last Sunday on the ground. He is galvanizing the officers, the bureaucrats, the ministers, the MPs, MLAs, all of them are on the ground. So wherever people are despondent, relief measures are immediately given. All that is happening on the one side.
So those are relief measures. What about the preventive
Yes,
measures?
See, that's what I'm coming to it. See, the preventive measures started in June 2021. After we took power, the Corporation Commissioner inspected all the stormwater drains. It was desilted. All the river mouths, which were the reason for the 2015 floods, they were desilted. They were immediately looked upon properly. But this is what we could do in the last 3 months. And look at the rains that had come to the city in the last 5 days. I think this had never happened. Even in 2015, it was just a 2-day event. But this is
Mr. Sundararajan says that you have spent the crores of money has been spent on stormwater drain. Nothing is reflected or visible on the ground.
Yeah, that is by the ADMK government. They had spent around 6,770 crores. We can't imagine the kind of money that has been spent only on flood mitigation. And what has happened? Nothing.
So we don't have an AIA-DMK representative for their point of view, but what are your government doing, Mr. Saravanan?
That is why I'm saying they won't come because they can't defend the indefensible.
Mr. Saravanan, let's talk about what you can do or what you are doing. You are in power in the state right now. People are suffering under your watch.
Yes. That is what I've told you. Even the Chief Minister is on the ground. No other Chief Minister would have done this. 7 to 8 hours on the ground. Wherever there is a demand for relief. The relief is actually reaching the people. Then nobody is questioning that the government has not reached out. So we are doing enough. We are doing more than enough.
Mr. Saravanan, year after year, and it's not just your state or other states, we hear this story of relief happening. post the tragedy being hit, but what about whether we can prevent or minimize the damage? Mr. Sundararajan, let me come to you. I'll come to you, Mr. Saravanan. Mr. Sundararajan, let's talk about solutions. What are the solutions for this? What are the short-term and the long-term solutions to prevent or at least minimize the damage due to these flooding?
See, actually, we should talk about floods when there are no floods.
Yes.
But unfortunately, our rulers who are ruling from the last about 10 years time, they never bothered to consult with public, and they did whatever they want to do.
Yes.
But today we have got a situation into this. So I think the long-term solution would be to retrieve back the floodplains of the rivers. See, for us, encroachments means it's only the slum dwellers. It is not big commercial complexes, big offices which have been built on the floodplains of the rivers in Chennai. Even Chennai airport secondary runway has been built inside Adayar River, encroaching some 400 meters. So, if you talk about encroachments, it's only over the slum dwellers. Unfortunately, we don't look at the large complexes or malls. So, we need to retrieve our floodplains wherever it is possible. And secondly, we need to build our stormwater drains in such a manner that it is able to carry extreme rainfall like this, about 10 centimeters in 3 hours time or 2 hours time. So, our stormwater drains have to be constructed in such a way. First of all, before anything of this sort, we need to have an elevation map of Chennai. Unfortunately, we don't have it today. We don't have an elevation map of Chennai. So then only you can understand which are the low-lying areas which get inundated, which are the highly elevated areas.
Yes.
So all this mapping has to be done. There is the issue is there is technology, there are solutions. It is only the political will that has been absent for the past so many years.
Yes.
And now with climate change threatening the very existence of the people in the city of Chennai, and we are expecting more extreme rainfall events like this.
Yes.
I think the primary function of this government, the new government, is to keep Chennai flood-prone, flood-proof, and drought-proof. So, because we have got only two things. Whenever there is a flood, they will evacuate people, bring into Kalyana Mandapams and give them biryani. So, there ends the relief measure. Whenever there is a drought, they give rice, they give 1,000 rupees or 2,000 rupees. There ends the drought measures. So both drought and flood are mixed.
Mr. Saravanan, take that, Mr. Sundararajan, saying these are all piecemeal relief measures that you are giving. How are you going to keep Chennai flood-proof? Also, he's talking about political will to do this, to make Chennai flood-proof. And all, if I may add, there are people whose homes have been destroyed, livelihoods have been destroyed. They are looking up to your government to provide relief. What is this relief going to be? Is it going to be piecemeal, as Mr. Sundararajan says, or is there going to be something substantial?
No, definitely. DMK government is known for making substantial infrastructural projects which has benefited the state in the long run, and this government will make it incumbent upon them to ensure that the future of Chennai is flood-proof. They have already sent so much of money down the drain. We'll ensure where it has gone wrong. See, the problem is this. There was wrong alignment. They wanted to give out contracts and ensure they get the commissions. They never bothered about alignments or bothered about what is the optimum way to do it, the best way to do it. We will do it. This government will do that. The Chief Minister has already assured, he said he will look into this issue. There are other major things which has to be done, and that will be done by this government.
And what are you going to give, tell the people whose lives and livelihoods, homes have been destroyed, sir?
Yeah, see, already relief measures are all on place, and depending upon the damage they have suffered, compensation will be paid to the victims, and we will be protecting them. We will protect them. See, there is no question, there is no, the people have not come and complained that there is not adequate, the government is not seen, there is no adequate measure. That has never been the case.
All right.
So we are there. The relief measures, there is nothing to worry at all.
All right, Mr. Saravanan, let's see what are those relief measures, and what are you are saying that the DMK government will improve things and make Chennai flood-proof. Let's see what happens, if at all there anything changes on the ground in Chennai and Tamil Nadu in the years to come. We'll hold you to that, Mr. Saravanan and Mr. Sundararajan. Thanks very much for joining us on this discussion.